if you're a diehard Seahawks fan, like you see random Seahawks fans and you start chanting 12 at them, those are the types of people we want subscribed to this channel here. So look underneath the video. You see that big red button that says subscribe? Click on that. If you can't find the subscribe button, guess what? I'm going to provide a link in the comments and in the description. But it's simple here. More subs equals more videos. Now, you guys have done a great job, and I appreciate all the hard work you guys have been doing. But let's get some more subs, more videos here on the Seahawks channel. Coming up right now, Seahawks versus Washington football team reaction. It's over. The Seahawks have clinched a playoff spot in a game that has got me sprouting more gray hairs than Pete Carroll. They had a great lead, 20-3. And then Washington started to creep back, scored 12 points in the fourth quarter. And listen, I get it. Most Seahawks games, it gets really, really interesting in the fourth quarter. It reminds me a lot of like an NBA game where you don't have to watch the first three quarters. But as long as you make it for the fourth, you're going to be okay. Russell Wilson, did he have his best game? No. Did we have a scare with DK Metcalf? Yes, they did. But at the end of the day, they got to win, and that's what all y'all are probably really, really excited about. Pretty? No. But 20-15 win over a very good Washington team with a very good defense. And it's actually funny. Washington now falls to 0-8 this year when their opponent scores at least 20 points. Think about that for a second. So what's your one-word reaction here to the Seahawks win? 10-4. They are, as it stands right now, as I am filming this video, the number one team in the NFC West. That could change, but I mean, the Rams are really struggling with the Jets right now. So give me your one-word reaction to the Seahawks win. I don't know what's word coming to my mind exactly. I don't know if it's expected. You should have been expected to beat Washington, but I'll also say tough, because it was a tough win. Wasn't pretty, but they came away with it. So let's look at Russell Wilson's stats here. 18-27, 121 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, no sacks. This is back-to-back weeks that Russell Wilson has not been sacked. So think about it. Coming into this game, 40 sacks. But the last 2 weeks, the offensive line for Seattle has actually done a much better job. One of my keys to victory in this game was you got to protect Russ. Is it rocket science? No. But if you can keep him healthy, you're always going to have a shot. And the more and more he is upright, especially late in the season, that's very, very good news. So Russell Wilson stayed upright, didn't put up the best stats, but honestly, he didn't really need to. The other aspect of the game was they really tried to slow down the clock. You could see that they were trying to run the football with Chris Carson. Carlos Hyde, shout out to him. He had a great run in this game. But I mean, Russ, I want your grades for him because he is the leader of this team. Is he going to be the MVP front runner? Is he even in the top 3 at this point? I'd probably say no. But you guys don't care about that. I know all you want is to go out and win. So grade Russ versus Washington. A, B, C, D, or F. Let me know in the comments section. I got an A+ deal for y'all. So if y'all need a hat, I've never been to Seattle, but one of my best friends from college is like, dude, it literally freaking rains here every single day. You got any of those Seahawks hats for me? I was like, all right, man, I got you covered. Go to chatsports.com/Seattle hats, and there's hundreds. Whether you want a trucker hat, whether you want a snapback, whether you want to go out and direct traffic cones with this bright green hat, we got you covered, man. Chatsports.com/Seattle hats is the link available. I actually saw some of them are on sale up to like 66% off. Warning, though, it's not going to last forever. I think I saw it's like 14 hours left on this deal. So if you need a new Seahawks hat, I'm telling you, go take advantage of it. Chatsports.com/Seattle hats. So last week, I shouldn't say last week, earlier in the week, I filmed my keys to victory versus Washington. We already hit on the head, protect Russell Wilson. Again, no shit. Take care of the ball. No shit, Mitch. How about pressure Washington's quarterbacks and score more than 20 points? You basically did all of these things. Now, I said go out and get Alex Smith because he's dealing with a foot injury, and that basically led to him not playing whatsoever, and you got to see more of Dwayne Haskins. But we are going to also talk about a lot of the other players on offense that kind of scared the heck out of me, not just because of a Seahawks, like if you're a Seahawks fan, would you be worried about the injury? No. Also an NFL fan, because DK Metcalf is one of the most fun and entertaining players in the league, and when he went down with a hammy, I think we all took a little bit of a deep breath. So he starts grabbing the hamstring, and luckily he was able to get back out onto the football field. 5 catches, 43 yards, 6 targets. You guys can hate on me if you want, but DK has surpassed Tyler Lockett as the number 1 receiver on this team, who also saw 7 targets, 4 catches, 34 yards. This was a much different style of game. It reminded me of the old Seahawks games where they really, really tried to slow down the pace and run the football a little bit more. So here are the numbers from the running backs. Chris Carson, 15 carries, 63 yards, caught 2 balls, had 6 receiving yards, no total touchdowns. Shout out to Carlos Hyde, though. Carlos Hyde was looking like the young Hyde in the old days back with the 49ers where he could actually break a long run, and that's what he did in this one. 55 yards and a touchdown. Wasn't a pretty game on the ground, but Hyde got it done, and as you could see, the longer you could have kept, we'll say Washington's defense away from Wilson, the better that was going to be. So name the Seahawks offensive MVP. I tried to show y'all the stats of Wilson, DK, Lockett, Carlos Hyde, Chris Carson. And I was sitting here, and I'm like, I actually do not know who the MVP on offense was. Could you maybe give some love to the offensive line for opening up some holes? Sure. They protect Russell Wilson, too. Do you just give it to Wilson because he's the quarterback? I mean, a lot of different options here, but let me know who the Seahawks offensive MVP was. Because if I would have just asked y'all just straight up MVP, the amount of options you could have gone with on defense was just overwhelming. The first name that comes to mind, Bobby Wagner. Did he have a tough hit in the fourth quarter that almost bit him in the butt? Sure, but it's the football. I like his physicality. 13 tackles. He had a pass breakup. How about Jamal Adams? Everyone's ripping on Jamal Adams for not being a coverage safety. Guess what? He's not. But he is one of the best run-stopping safeties in all of football. 9 tackles, second behind only Bobby Wagner. He had a tackle for loss, a sack. The Seahawks as a team were able to get 4 sacks in this one. How about DJ Reed? DJ Reed had himself a ball game. 6 tackles, 3 pass breakups, and a huge clutch fumble recovery. It was Washington's I believe they had 2 picks. They also had a fumble recovery. But, I mean, DJ Reed was going in this game and continues to show that, hey, man, don't forget about me. I know we talk about Jamal Adams a lot, but Reed had a solid game. So who was the Week 15 defensive MVP? We don't really talk about the defense too much for Seattle because, well, it's hush-hush and they're not very fun to watch. But this is a game where you held Washington basically to 3 points the first 3 quarters. Sure, you let them get some confidence late in the fourth where they scored 12 points. But again, they punted it away. I believe Washington had like 2 minutes to get something going. They got to stop when it mattered the most. So let me know, who was the Week 15 defensive MVP? The main thing that everyone was talking about on Twitter was the injury to DK Metcalf. Luckily, I wanted to at least just put it out there because it's going to be an injury to monitor. Anytime you see a guy grab his hammy the way DK did, it's going to make you worry. Sure, he was able to finish out the game, and he's a tough player, but also adrenaline. We'll see how he's doing. He's probably going to be on the practice report, but I'm going to say he's good to go from here on out. So here's the NFC West standings as I am filming this video right now. Seahawks, number 1, okay? 10-4. The Rams are playing, and producer Brad, what was that? 20-3. The Jets are beating the Rams. Y'all, if you made it this far in the video, if the Jets end up blowing this one, I'm sorry for getting your excitement up. But this is a big implications because then if the Seahawks win, the Rams lose, and right now the Saints, they're battling out with the Chiefs, and they're losing that game. I mean, you could really see Seattle go from being the 5 seed, jumping all the way up to the 2 seed. So think about that for a second. So then you got the Cardinals 7-6. They're playing right now, and they are beating the Philadelphia Eagles. And then the 49ers. They lost in one of the craziest games I've seen this year between Dallas and them. But that's the current NFC West. So will they win it? Y for yes, N for no. At the beginning of the year, I was like, Seattle, Seattle, Seattle. And this past week on NFL Daily, you guys can call me an idiot, at MitchellRentz365. I said the Rams are going to take care of the Jets and end up winning this division. Well, it looks like I might be wrong. Y for yes, N for no. Will the Seahawks win the NFC West?